WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Cash Matlock.
And I'm Riley Livingston. A former University of Mississippi dispatcher is accused of a sex crime involving a 15-year-old girl. 37-year-old Nikki Thweet is charged with 2 counts of sexual battery. On Wednesday, the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department began investigating Thweet after she was accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a minor. Sheriff Major Alan Wilburn says the department expects more charges as the investigation continues. Thweet remains at the Lafayette County Detention Center with a bond set at $80,000. As many people prepare for the 4th of July, there could be a spike in firework prices on the horizon. While fireworks are sold in the United States, most are made in China.
That's right, Riley. And President Trump proposed a 25% increase on tariffs, which could potentially lower the sales on fireworks throughout the U.S. Our Stephanie Poole joins us in the studio with more on how one local business plans to keep sales steady.
Yes, Orbit's Fireworks is hopeful there won't be a drastic change in sales with the 4th of July. Even if prices skyrocket, they still expect hundreds of people to come in. Thousands are preparing for America's birthday celebration, but one tradition might be costly soon. Fireworks. Tariffs on China can make them more expensive. Orbit's Fireworks is hopeful sales will remain the same.
They're still going to come in. They're still going to come in. I believe if it keeps going up, they're still going to come in. Some way, somehow, they're going to figure a way to come get a firecracker.
Employee Candy Neighbor says over the 8 years she's worked there, nothing keeps enthusiasts from buying.
There's been a few things that's went up, but we try to keep it, as pleasant as we can to the customer. That way they still can afford it. And then some things have stayed the same, some things has went lower.
Neighbor says most of the bigger fireworks will see a price change.
My 500 grams have went up. The TV stuff, some of it's went up, but not, way up, just a couple dollars or so, but it's pretty affordable still.
Orbit's Fireworks continues to plan for long lines.
We have lots and lots of people come in. It's a good kind of chaotic.
And there's no official start date when those tariffs will begin.
Well, it's time now for our first look at our forecast with meteorologist Kendall Smith. Now, Kendall, I noticed there was a little bit of rain outside the studio earlier today.
Well, Cash, you are right. We had some isolated showers and thunderstorms move through, but we are currently dry. This is taking a look in downtown Tupelo on our Alpha Insurance Sky Camera, where it's currently 78 degrees. And area-wide, we are seeing temperatures much of the same, the upper 70s and low 80s. 82 in Starkville, 79 in West Point, and 77 in Amory. And we saw some showers and thunderstorms like I was talking about from earlier. This is a picture sent in to us from our very own Allie Martin of a shower that made its way through Tupelo. And on radar, that's what we're currently still seeing. Just some isolated showers and storms out there. We saw a thunderstorm just make its way through West Point earlier. That had some pretty good lightning as well as gusty winds associated with it. But as we go throughout the overnight hours, those showers and thunderstorms will dissipate and temperatures will drop down into the low 70s.
Thanks, Kendall. Old-fashioned stump rallies are no longer a thing of the past, Cash.
That is exactly right. In fact, Choctaw County just wrapped up their second stump rally in recent years, and event organizers say it's a great opportunity to get to know your local candidates.
Several communities across the state have started hosting events where locals can meet the candidates, and Choctaw County is no exception. Event organizers there decided to bring back an old favorite, the old-fashioned stump rally.
In the older times, they used to just have a stump that they would, get out and stand on, and they would speak to the public. And so we kind of took that, because if you'll notice up at our podium, we have, the little, different little stumps. So it brings back the old days.
Those in attendance say the event helps to educate area voters.
We need to know our candidates beyond campaign slogans, sound bites. It's good to hear what they're proposing that they will do if elected or re-elected. It's good to know those who have been in office, what is their history, what is their track records, what do they propose to change, how to better our community, our state, and even our nation.
Because you can hear a lot of stuff, you can read a lot of signs, but actually getting to shake somebody's hand and talk to them means a lot. Tell you a lot about a person. So
Attendees also said the event helps voters to see past party lines.
you know, a lot of people stick with whatever party and go with that, and I think it's important to see, because I've got people here that are running under Democrats that I like, and some Republicans I like. More of my values go with the Republican Party, but, you know, in the South, there's still a lot of old Democrats out here, too.
And I'm a firm believer of voting for that principle of that person, what their beliefs and what they're going to bring to the table for the betterment of our state or our county. And unfortunately, because we're forced to vote either or party, people do vote because of a name or because of a party.
Although stump rallies were once a popular way for candidates to get their message across, they lost traction through the years. Those in attendance say they hope that will all change very soon.
Choctaw County people like to meet the candidates. We like to, you know, see what they're wanting to do for the county, and it's very important because, you know, we like to see what people stand for.
Well, in total, 29 local candidates registered to speak at the stump rally.
Those at the stump rally also got to take part in a mock election. Choctaw County Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Donna McKay says the county was selected as a trial county for a new voting system called Voting Works. The mock election will feature fake candidate names. Organizers say the new system is supposed to be more efficient and safer.
What they do is it's just a new voting system, and you can actually vote on the computer screen, and they've got a printer beside it, and it actually prints your ballot out, and you actually go and put it in the box yourself. And it's just supposed to be a safer way to vote.
There is no word yet on whether or not the new system will be used during this year's primary elections.
Well, in Lee County, volunteers fanned out around the area to encourage and assist people with registering to vote. WCBI's Chad Groening has more.
They gathered at the Lynx Center in Tupelo. Volunteers put signs on their cars, encouraging their fellow citizens to register in time to vote in the August primaries in Mississippi. Teresa Roberts was the event coordinator.
It's important because people, when they say, you know, I like this candidate, I don't like this candidate, but if you don't vote, then don't complain. That is why.
And Roberts says this weekend's event was completely nonpartisan.
Going out and knocking on doors. We don't know whose door we're going to knock on, but we're trying to get people registered to vote as well.
Donna Wardlaw was part of the team that went to Sotillo to knock on doors. She says people really need to care about the 2019 off-year elections.
This is one of my personal rants. There's so much focus on the national and federal level, and I understand that. I appreciate that. We got a very important state election, bunch of state elections going on. This is where we live. We need to get these people excited and get out and vote for their local and county people where we live.
And the teams were well versed on how to get people registered on site.
We have guidelines, we have a sheet with us, and we have the reason, all the reason listed why a person cannot vote. So if they say, I cannot vote, we ask them why you can't vote. And then we'll go down the list, explain to them and say, have you did this? If they said, no, I've not done any of those things, then they can register. Because some people are confused as to why they cannot vote.
And Wardlaw says they have a list of what they call disenfranchising felonies.
Those are the felonies that make people not eligible. Interestingly enough, the sale of drugs is not disenfranchising. However, bigamy is. So if John Doe sold some drugs to an undercover agency, as long as he wasn't married to two people at the same time, he's probably going to be able to vote.
And if teams register people they suspect are ineligible, they pass the voter registration info on to the circuit clerk to make that call. Chad Groening, WCBI News, Sotillo.
All the Mississippi primaries will be held on August 6th with primary runoffs August 27th.
Mrs. Mississippi United States, Carrie McMillan, prepares for the national pageant. We'll have that story coming up on WCBI News.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 p.m. with Riley Livingston and Cash Matlock.
Welcome back. A Northeast Mississippi woman is representing the state in the upcoming Mrs. United States pageant.
WCBI's Allie Martin tells us about the wife, mother, and career woman who says her story proves that anything is possible with hard work, determination, and the right team.
For Carrie McMillan, keeping a demanding physical fitness regimen
flip. Good job.
Has become a lifestyle.
I have worked out about 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day with my trainers, Jen and Johnny.
Earlier this year, the Mooreville resident was crowned Mrs. Mississippi United States. The soon-to-be 42-year-old is now preparing for the national pageant in a few weeks. McMillan grew up competing in beauty pageants and now runs a consulting business training young ladies for pageants. In fact, many of her clients encouraged her to compete once again.
You get involved with your kids' lives, and I just wanted to do something for myself. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to compete again and have fun.
Carrie McMillan has put a lot of work into her preparation for the pageant. She is hopeful that her journey will inspire other women.
It's just an amazing experience. And so if I just touch one life, I will be happy.
Carrie has lost 44 pounds following workout routines and nutrition plans from two coaches who have both been inspired by their client. One of Carrie's trainers saw her take the crown at Mrs. Mississippi United States.
I went to the pageant, my first time ever to go to a pageant. Anyway, so I went and watched her, and it came down to they were the final two. And they yelled her name out, and I just started crying. It was like an amazing experience.
Carrie, her trainers, and the rest of her team will continue working hard right up to pageant week at the end of July. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
McMillan will have a meet and greet and a send-off party Sunday at the Gray Antler in Mooreville from 1 until 3.
Well, isolated showers and thunderstorms will be the trend over the next several days, with highs topping out in the low 90s. When you factor in the heat index, it'll feel like the mid to upper 90s. More on those details coming up next.
Your first alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Kendall Smith.
Well, some isolated showers and thunderstorms rolled through our area this afternoon, but the good news is we are currently dry on our Alpha Insurance Sky Camera network, and we are seeing just mostly cloudy skies out there. This picture was sent in to us by our very own meteorologist Keith Gibson of a storm that made its way into Caledonia around the sports complex earlier this afternoon. And on radar, we are still seeing some shower and thunderstorm activity. We saw a thunderstorm make its way into West Point a little while ago. That had some heavy lightning as well as gusty winds associated with it. So area-wide temperatures are currently sitting in the upper 70s and low 80s, 81 in Starkville, 79 in West Point, 74 in Amory, and 75 currently in Columbus. So as we go throughout the overnight hours, temperatures will drop into the low 70s with mostly cloudy skies. We can't rule out the chance to see an isolated shower or thunderstorm, but that activity will happen before 10 o'clock, and then as the overnight hours progress, those showers and thunderstorms will dissipate. So, on Futurecast, we will keep a chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms around for the evening, but then around midnight, we look to dry things back out with mostly cloudy skies, and then by the time you wake up on Sunday morning, partly cloudy skies are to be expected area-wide, and then by the time lunchtime rolls around, those clouds do start to increase again, and just like we saw today, we could see an isolated shower or thunderstorm start popping up by the late afternoon hours, early evening hours, and then we'll start to clear things back out for the overnight hours, and then on Monday, we look to be dry again. So if you're looking to head out to the pool tomorrow, temperatures will be in the low 90s, partly sunny skies. We could see an isolated shower or thunderstorm during the afternoon hours, but just remember, if thunder roars, go indoors. So for Monday, we look to be dry during the morning, and then the same song, different verse. We could see some isolated showers and thunderstorms start to pop up by the evening hours, and then we'll draw back out for your Tuesday morning. And then guess what? The same thing happens again. Afternoon, we could see some isolated showers. So that's going to be the trend over the next several days, but that is pretty common for this time of the year because, hey, it is summertime. So temperatures area-wide will top out in the upper 80s and low 90s tomorrow. Much the same is expected for our southern counties, low 90s, and then for West Alabama, low 90s are expected as well. Looking at 92 in Reform and 91 in Vernon. So We're going to keep those rain chances around for the next several days, actually, and just about 20 to 30% chance for most days of this next week. Temperatures will top out in the low 90s, but when you factor in those heat indexes, it'll feel like the mid to upper 90s. Lows will be in the low 70s, but the good news is we do look to be drier by the 4th of July.
The high school football tour continues on. The next stop checks in on Myrtle Hawks as they get ready for the upcoming season. Courtney's going to have that story next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
The high school football tour continues on with stop number 6. We check in with the Myrtle Hawks, who have high expectations for year 2 of the program.
2018 will be remembered as a banner year in Myrtle Hawks history. Not only did the Hawks have its first ever varsity football season, but a winning season as well. Former assistant coach turned head coach Jeremy Smithy hopes that all of that early success won't hold them back in year 2.
You know, these kids were successful last season, winning a lot of games by blowouts, which I hope didn't make them jaded on exactly how hard they have to work to win ball games.
Felt good because I don't think a lot of people thought we couldn't do it, but we knew what we could do, and we knew what the kind of talent we had here and the way we were in the locker room.
Even after just one season, the goals are set sky high. The Hawks are hoping to come into 2019 stronger than before with hopes of winning a state title.
You would think that waving a state championship idea in front of kids who have never played in a division before would be a really big dream, but they seem to have kind of latched on to the idea that we've got enough talent to push ourselves into the playoffs and play deep in the playoffs.
They estimate us like we're the little dogs, but after the last season, I think everybody knows that we're going to come.
As a new coach, Smithy has a hands-on approach where not only does he tell his team to put in the work, but he does it along with them.
I would never ask you to do something that I would not do myself. It's just my way of showing them that I love them that much, that I wouldn't ask that much of them, but I am going to push them beyond what they think they can do.
Smithy's team is pushing through tough workouts in hopes of seeing it pay off on the field.
Sometimes you don't want to get up at 5:50 in the morning, come to workouts, and then you get the thing in your mind saying I can, but you gotta say I can and get mental toughness and come up here and work hard every day.
You flinch, I mean, it's gonna hit you like that, but just believe in it'll come to you.
Myrtle kicks off its second season with its first game at Vardaman on August 23rd. With the Hawks on the high school football tour, Courtney Robb, WCBI Sports.
No, don't. Not in. Well, there's plenty more tour stops still to come. The weekend will finish off with stop number 7, checking in on the TCPS Eagles. Then we kick next week off with the Knox Pater Tigers, followed by the Okolona Chieftains and the French Camp Panthers, getting back into Region 2 1A. For those keeping track at home, go to our Twitter and Facebook accounts at WCBI Endzone to see the schedule. And of course, if you miss any of these stops along the way, you can always go watch them on our website at WCBI.com. For the 7th straight year, Purnell McPhee returns to TCPS to host the Purnell McPhee and Friends Football Camp. The former ICC and MSU standout was joined by Anthony Booby Dixon, Johnny Cooks, and several others in teaching over 100 young players football fundamentals. McPhee, who signed a deal to rejoin the Ravens this upcoming season, hopes he and the guys can at least make a difference in just one kid's life.
We're going to help one kid out here. I know we're going to help one kid out of this bunch, and we can do that. That's what it's all about, giving them back, tell them how important it is, how to take care of everybody, how important it is to get education. Those type of things going to help one young man out here. And so that's why everybody out here know that we're going to help one kid, and that's our main goal.
We all go through a journey in life, and hopefully I can teach them a technique or maybe give them some words that they can put in their toolbox that they can use that'll help them down the line. And that'd be my main focus. It's not just as to make them a better football player, but just make them better kids and help them with their life.
Former Ole Miss guard Terrence Davis will have his shot at an NBA career. Davis has agreed to a deal with the Denver Nuggets for the upcoming Summer League in Las Vegas, where Davis will work at a chance for a roster spot. Davis was a huge contributor to the Rebels' 2018-2019 season, averaging over 15 points per game, shooting 31% from beyond the arc and 77% at the free throw line. He currently ranks as Ole Miss's 12th all-time scorer and assisted in the team's first run in the NCAA tournament since 2015. Davis's Summer League battle begins on July 5th against the Phoenix Suns at 10:30 p.m. That's it for sports. We will have the last look at your forecast when we come back after the break.
Say cheese. Today is National Camera Day. Take some time out of the business of life to capture some beautiful moments. You can use a regular camera or your smartphone camera. Take a family photo or selfie. You could also visit a photography exhibit. Look through some magazines with a strong emphasis on photojournalism, such as National Geographic or even old issues of Life magazine. Or check out some more famous photos online using an image search. You can post your photos to social media with the hashtag National Camera Day. Sounds like a good idea.
It does.
Yes, it does. Well, over the next several days, we could see the chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm with temperatures in the low 90s. But the good news is that by Thursday for the 4th of July, by the evening hours for fireworks, we look to be dry.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
that is perfect for a nice, wonderful 4th of July.
Couldn't ask for anything better.
Exactly. Hope everyone has a great night.